Yeah!
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to The Fringe. I know I said on last night's live stream there would be no videos this weekend because of the fact that, well, my wife and I are in the process of putting our house on the market and moving out of the big city of Calgary up to Spruce Grove in central, I guess you could say, Alberta, central to northern Alberta. Now, this comes after dropping out of my bid for the Calgary municipal election next year. Now, I do have videos talking about that. I talked a little bit about it on last night's streams as to the reasons that no longer was moving forward. And again, I feel those reasons were justified. But that set aside, part of the reason I've made this video actually has to do with all of this. Well, kind of. And it also has to do with what I do for a living outside of YouTube. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about this video's sponsor, Unacceptable Fringe Books. Unacceptable Fringe Books has something new and exciting to share with each and every one of you. Our newest book and possibly final book entry into our series of political satire books, Just Axe the Tax, a parody of Dr. Seuss's Green Eggs and Ham, is now available on Amazon. Over the last few years, it's been my absolute pleasure to bring you hit titles such as How the Prime Minister Stole Freedom, One Face, Two Face, Blackface, Blueface, Hold the Line, The Ballad of Tamara Leach, and How the Prime Minister Broke Canada. All of these best-selling books have been an absolute thrill to write for you, but with each book releasing, we always want to give back to the community as well and try to help Canadians in some shape or form and another. This time, I'm proud to announce that proceeds from every purchase of our books on Amazon will be going towards helping local Canadian food banks at a time when the Prime Minister has made affordability very difficult for common Canadian households. At Unacceptable Fringe Books, not only are we committed to giving you humor in political entertainment, but we are also committed to giving Canadians a boost at a time when they're in need or looking for some form of assistance. Head over to Amazon.com or Amazon.ca right now and pick up your copy of Just Axe the Tax and give yourself the gift of a little bit of laughter at a time when everyone in this country could definitely use some. Link is down below in the description. Now, once again, ladies and gentlemen, there's only about a week left to pick up your copies from Amazon. And again, I will be matching 50% of all of our profits roughly given to those in need and local food banks to help support those who can't eat, thanks to people like Justin Trudeau. Again, also, it helps us now because, well, our lives just got a lot more complicated thanks to Justin Trudeau and the fact that this is where I've made my living, that this is where I make my business. Now, what am I talking about? Well, we've put our house on the market and essentially we're in the process of relocating. We've decided that due to crime, due to a number of reasons, Calgary just isn't the place for us to raise our kids anymore. We wanted smaller town feel and smaller town life. Part of the fun in that is getting the house ready to move and hiring realtors. And as the realtors come in, they have to do something called an AML check. It is required by law. It is part of the process of selling your home. What is AML? Well, it's essentially the government checking in to see if you're involved with money laundering. Now, when you look at the British Columbia house market, mostly in Vancouver, they've often said for years that a lot of the money that comes in from Chinese properties is laundering dirty money over to Canada in order to buy empty houses, essentially to sit and house Chinese money gained from nefarious means, we'll say. But they run this AML check in order to check your credibility. And well, it looks like Justin Trudeau has thrown my name on that list merely because he wants to make my life difficult. Now, I do have an accountant who does our taxes. I've done everything on the up and up. In fact, the first year after launching How the Prime Minister Stole Freedom, we got audited within 30 minutes of filing our taxes. It seems that along the heels of the Freedom Convoy, along the lines of the Coots 4 and the government just trying to make their lives miserable, well, apparently if you poke fun at the government for a living, they like to make your life miserable as well. Let's take a look here just so people know I'm not, BSing on what goes out here. You can see again, my name is just above this black line. It does have my address here. I've blocked that out again with no point in doxing. An AML check for Derek Smith was completed August 23rd, 2024. So yesterday at the time of filming this video. Appears on politically exposed persons list? No. Appears on sanctions list? No. Appears on a warnings list? Yes. Appears on fitness and probity list? No. Now, the reason that I'm on a warning list is apparently the Canadian government, who runs these AML checks, is saying that I am a high risk for money laundering. Now, what surprised me about this was that the realtor, again, they watch my YouTube channel. They know what kind of content I make. And they showed up and said, it's funny. This is the first time we've ever seen this show up when we do these checks. These checks are usually pretty standard. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean anything bad's going to happen, anything wrong's going to happen. But now, amidst all the confusion and the hectic nature of trying to sell a home while also purchasing a new home, we now have to call multiple government offices, deal with this, and possibly consult lawyers. For compliance and officer use, marking the AML check as approved will remove the AML warning for this record in the records list if the check contains positive results. This is useful in cases where there are positive results for other individuals with a similar name, birth year, and country as a client. Now, it's important to note that because, well, I've often said that my name is like the no-name brand of people because Smith is a very generic name. It is very common. But again, my address is tied to this. My name is tied to this. And it doesn't shock me that Justin Trudeau wants to essentially make anyone's life difficult, or at least cause them as many inconsistencies, we'll say, in their day-to-day life as they can, simply out of inconvenience, we'll say. I'm trying to find the right words here to match along YouTube's algorithm. Now, this isn't really a pity party. Again, I'm not worried about these things, but the reason I wanted to make this video was to, again, address that if you dare question your government, if you dare stand up against your government, not only will they freeze your bank accounts or trample you with horses, not only will they keep you tied up in the court systems for long periods of time, and again, Chris Barber and Tamara Leach's case is wrapped up. They still have their provincial hearing to deal with, and it's going to be interesting to see where that goes through with people like Zexi Lee and Paul Champ. And again, I'll be bringing you information on that as that moves forward. But when you look at the Coutts 4, when you look at the fact that the prosecution is already filing an appeal before sentencing even comes forward in that case, this shows you just how much the government dislikes anybody who wants to stand up and either make a mockery of them, question them, stand up for the Charter of Rights, stand up for what citizens have a right to say in this country. Again, my books are playful, they're funny. Many people have praised them, saying that they sit on their coffee table for when people come over, they've snuck them into public libraries for people to read. I have many libraries on my lists that show that they've ordered those books for their shelves and people who have said they found them in there. So there's nothing nefarious about what I do. And again, I've often said, my files are transparent. We go through an accountant. Everything is on the up and up. There is no reason for us to be tapped like this, but yet here we are trying to move on with our lives. And Justin Trudeau, who technically seems to be the only person I'm aware of that's laundering money in this country, just wants to make things difficult for Canadians. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Have you seen any of this kind of behavior amongst people you know? Do you believe that this is because of what I do for a living? Do you believe that there's a chance that this isn't legitimate? Let me know what or not legitimate, but that it may be a different Derek Smith who's caught up in this. Let me know what your thoughts are down below in the comments. Again, if you haven't picked up our books yet, head over to Amazon. Some of them are on sale right now. Pick up your copies. Again, it helps the channel, it helps us, and it gives you guys some entertainment while helping others at the same time. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget, as you're clicking the subscribe button, if it's your first time here, to hit that button and click your bell for notifications. Join me live here on the channel each and every Friday night for our live stream show, just as we did last night. Friday Night Fringe, starting at 6 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Central, here on the channel. I always look forward to seeing you guys there. My wife, Mrs. Fringe, often joins us on those streams to have some back and forth banter with you guys, and it's always great to hear what you have to say outside of making these videos. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I'll catch you on the next one.